Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A video breaking down some of the most burning questions and theories that you guys have sent in. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so if you guys have any suggestions or any ideas that you have in your head that you would like me to break down in a video, please be sure to go to the community tab right now. It's just on my YouTube page, and there will be a new Q&A section where you can reply as a comment and submit a question for a future video. Obviously that will be the next Q&A video after this, but today you guys sent in some really good questions that I'm going to be breaking down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So the first question comes from Henry on YouTube, who asks, is there a possibility of other DC superheroes who got a movie getting a TV series? So good question, Henry. I like this because it's something that I haven't been asked recently, and it's something that quite honestly I haven't thought too much about. So if we talk about the possibility of more DC TV shows, of course that's going to happen. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be Arrowverse DC TV shows, but it's going to be a DC TV show, and it will probably be linked to DC Studios and what James Gunn is doing. So the possibility of other DC superheroes who have previously got a movie getting a TV series, well, if we look at the recent films that have come out, do I think there's going to be a Batman, a Wonder Woman, Aquaman show? I think, quite honestly, probably not. However, if James Gunn develops the DCU and, you know, it's really successful, say Brave and the Bold does good, there could be some sort of Batman spin-off that happens in the form of a TV show. Obviously, we are getting a Penguin show which is linked to Matt Reeves' Batman with Robert Pattinson, which is very exciting, so that actually happens. But could we get any other DC superheroes who've had a movie get a TV series? Let me think who's the best. So we've had obviously The Flash, we've had the Flash TV show. What else have we got? Blue Beetle could be an option. Like, I could see a future where there is some sort of like Young Justice style show where you have Blue Beetle being one of the main characters and them coming into the TV show and it being all about like the Young Justice or like Teen Titans. You could see some characters that have appeared in the DCU before. Obviously we're getting a Green Lantern show. They've made a Green Lantern film with Ryan Reynolds. That TV show has been in development for a long time, but they've just kind of switched it up recently. So that's the thing. That's coming to Max sometime in the next couple of years. That's part of James Gunn's plans. That was announced when he announced the first slate, because that is set to come out maybe sometime in the next 2 to 3 years. I don't think we're going to get any other kind of Superman show unless it's animated like we've got with My Adventures with Superman. And that is because Superman Lois is still going on right now, so there would be no reason to have another live action Superman show going on at the same time. So I think those are my best answers, quite honestly. If I'm looking through the roster of the films, I don't see there being like a Joker TV show. I think it's going to be picking a couple characters that are popular and have appeared previously. Those characters like Blue Beetle and some sort of Young Justice Teen Titans team up. I could see that happening as a live action TV show, because obviously that would kind of link into what James Gunn is doing. I know we just finished Titans, so if we do a Young Justice live action show, people would lose their minds and it would be a great TV show in my opinion. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. This comes from Sabarus on YouTube, who asks, do you think Dreamer will ever get a show? So as you guys know, Supergirl ended a year or so ago, and since then Nicole Maines has been busy. She saw her at a Comic-Con event in England earlier this year. She was talking about everything, and she's actually been really busy since Supergirl finished. Like, she was writing loads of Dreamer comic books, and you know, Dreamer's been continuing on beyond Supergirl. Even Dreamer was in Fortnite for a little bit, and I think she's still available in Fortnite. And then most recently she reappeared in The Flash, obviously in live action, so that was really awesome. Is there any possibility that Dreamer ever gets her own show? Well, since Supergirl finished, I've been a huge advocate for that. Like, I really want to see a Dreamer show. I felt like her out of everyone had so much to offer, and I felt like Supergirl ending really cut her story short. So that's why I'm super happy with what Nicole Maines has been doing, continuing the character. Yes, it isn't exactly the Dreamer that we've had in the Arrowverse, but it's the same character that they created and they're continuing. I think it's kind of unlikely that Dreamer will get a Supergirl spin-off show anytime soon. For now, I believe her destiny is to continue in the comics and to become a big character in the comics, and if it ever becomes big enough, I believe you could see a Dreamer show. Now, I'm not saying it's necessarily going to be Nicole Maines playing, because we have no idea how long further down the line this would actually happen. Like, if it happens 10 years in the future from now, it's probably going to be someone else, unless Nicole obviously is still spearheading the Dreamer stories. So I'm going to say right now it's unlikely we're going to get a Dreamer show. However, it could happen if the character becomes even more popular. Okay, so the next question comes from the one review board on YouTube who asks, you think Supergirl and the Flash will appear in Superman Lois? This is a question that I've been asked quite a lot, and we've answered this quite a lot. If Supergirl appears in Superman Lois, it will be a different version of the character. They would have a new origin story. That was confirmed by the showrunner of Superman Lois, Todd Helbing. He was very explicit when it comes to the potential possibility of Supergirl showing up in the show. And he basically said, yeah, if Supergirl ever shows up, like, they will be totally different, just like the other characters that Superman Lois retconned. And that's just because that's the way they want to do things. And so the possibility of Supergirl showing up, yes, I guess if they got season 5, I could see a version of Supergirl showing up in season 5, whether it be like Power Girl or something different. That definitely is a possibility. And I would like to see more Kryptonians on the show. Obviously, it would be great to see them team up together once again. The possibility of Melissa Benoist being Supergirl is probably much more slim, even though recently she has said she's been open to coming back as Supergirl maybe in the future. However, I'm going to say pretty unlikely it will be Melissa. It will probably be a different person playing Supergirl or a version of Kara. As for the Flash, I feel like, yeah, it's probably less likely that the Flash would show up in Superman Lois than Supergirl, just because Supergirl is the cousin of Superman. But I feel like Grant is more likely than Melissa to show up in the show, because Grant is so open to coming back. He said that right away in some of the final interviews he did as the Flash was ending with the final season. And so I just get the vibe that he would come back, probably along the lines of Stephen Amell. I don't know if that would be 2 years down the line. I don't think it would be as long as Steven. So if Superman Lois is still going on in like 1-2 seasons time, I could potentially see Grant showing up. I really don't think it's a far stretch to assume that he could show up, just because I think he really loves the character, he loves the Flash, he said he's open, so why not sometime later down the line. Okay, so we got 2 questions from our members now. The first one is to do with Season 5, but also a bit of Season 4, and this is from Jamie Harley. So Jamie says this, my theory is that Lex will get kryptonite poisoning this season or next, and which will lead to the introduction of Brainiac 5 for Season 5. So he's predicting that Lex is going to be defeated in Season 4, and it's going to lead to Brainiac, kind of like how the end of Bruno Mannheim's story led directly to Lex coming and directly to Doomsday being introduced. That is what Jamie is saying. He thinks Lex is going to be defeated this season, potentially with kryptonite poisoning. Obviously that's quite specific, but in a broader sense, Jamie is predicting that Lex Luthor is going to die in Season 4 or be defeated in some sort of way. Obviously there's many ways that Lex could potentially be defeated, but right now he has got Doomsday in his control, but I don't know how long that is going to last in terms of him controlling Doomsday, because he's pretty much a loose cannon as of right now, and you can see that from the end of last season. And so what do I think of this? Do I think that Lex is going to be defeated in Season 4? I think, yeah, probably. It's a possibility that Lois figures out a way to actually properly incarcerate him and put him into prison, and they defeat him once and for all, basically. And so he gets a life sentence, and that's probably the most likely way that they're going to be rid of him and like put him away. I think he will definitely be defeated by the end of season 4, because like Jamie says, they always lead into the next season with, you know, one villain kind of linking to another. And he is saying season 5, if we get a season 5, that's going to be Brainiac. Obviously, Brainiac can be introduced by a multitude of ways, but most likely he's just going to show up on Earth and he's going to try and bottle Earth, or specifically bottle Metropolis if we're in Metropolis next season. We've seen Brainiac previously in live action. Obviously, we saw him in the Krypton TV show. That was actually really good. I like what they did with Brainiac there. I would be a big fan if they introduced Brainiac in maybe season 5. That would definitely be good, and definitely a villain that people are going to be interested in. So thanks for the question, Jamie. And let's move on to the last question of this Q&A video, coming from another member of our channel, that being Nathan Bell. Nathan's Q&A question is to do with Superman Lois as well. He says Clark has been gone for a few episodes, and obviously this is him predicting the start of season 4, and John will use a new steel armor with the S. So we're talking about Jonathan here, and he's going to have a cape, and Jordan will be the proper Superboy, but there will be an Eradicator with a robotic body and a new cyborg Superman, since we haven't seen a Hank Henshaw yet on Superman Lois, just like we saw on Supergirl previously. Probably won't happen, he says, but it's good to imagine. Plus they just did the Doomsday plot, and they're kind of doing Death of Superman, and so it makes sense if Reign of Superman came next. I think this is very logical. I like what you're thinking about, Nathan. It definitely makes sense to do Reign of Superman after this Doomsday storyline. And if Superman is dead, someone is going to have to step up and take Superman's place. And obviously with Reign of Superman, there was those various different Supermen that came about. Yeah, it could be some sort of cyborg Superman, could be an Eradicator. But I think more likely than not, Jonathan potentially suiting up in some sort of armor sounds really cool. Most likely, Jordan is going to be a proper Superboy, and he's going to have trained. So could this happen in the first few episodes of the season? Maybe, yeah. If we get some sort of time jump and we don't know if Superman's dead, maybe he's been missing for a while after he went into space and fought Doomsday. Definitely Superboy is going to have to pick up the slack, and maybe he's going to get some extra help. So that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.